most of you know, I was out taking care of my father for about 3 years. And he passed away in November, 92. Ready to go. And some of you were raised around us, Brian, and the Clarys were part of it all. And my dad was quite the adventurer, and he was World War II and Korea War vet. And Steve, I was telling Steve that I'd sit with my dad, and I bought him this lounge chair, and he would sit in this lounge chair, and I'd sit with him, and he would just tell me stories about World War II, Korea, things that I'd never heard before, and some things I had. But then just all this goofy stuff when he was a traveling evangelist. He was one of those guys. He and his two friends, my uncle and their best friend, and they were one of those groups that went and they would set up tents, in the middle of nowhere. They'd have these revivals, Pentecostal revivals for, some town in Iowa or something. And they decided one time that they needed a plane, that they wanted to buy a single-engine plane because they needed to get to multiple locations quicker. And of course, they left out the fact that none of them knew how to fly a plane, and none of them had a pilot's license. But I guess that was something that wasn't really necessary for them at that point. So one of the stories he told me was that they had taken off to fly into this little town in Iowa to do this revival. And the other thing about the plane is it had no lights that worked on the airplane. So they left too late. And they're landing in this, little dirt runway in the middle of nowhere, and they realize it's dark. It's too dark to see the road, the runway. And so they come up with this idea, because my dad was the smallest one of all three of them. The other two were pretty tall guys. And they tied a rope around my dad's waist, and he hung out the side door of the window with a flashlight. He'd tell them, okay, you got 20 feet, 10 feet, 5 feet, 2 inches, And they landed safely, otherwise I wouldn't be here at this point. So Steve wrote this great lyric to the whole thing. The only thing we found out that wasn't true, everything's true. The only thing we found out that wasn't is one thing that Steve's father, Paul, brought up, because Steve's father's like our biggest fan ever. I mean, he knows every lyric, he listens to every record over and over again. And he'll also, if something's wrong, he'll say, what about this? Why did you do that? Why did you write that? And there's a line called, when your runaway 44 Ford rolled into Bakersfield, we weren't scared. And Steve's father says, Steve, Ford didn't make cars in 1944. It was during the war. They shut down all the factories.
Poetic license.
Poetic license, but 44 sounds better than 48 Ford.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, So that's the only thing the song's not true. 36, barefoot down Route 66. After all the things you did and saw, you're still a kid from Arkansas. You joined the Navy at 17. Got in a brawl with some drunk Marines, thrown in the brig a time or two. 11 Haitian green tattoos. Well, I've been with you to the South Pacific, patrolling the Tokyo Bay. Landed a plane with a flashlight in a field the night away. And when you run away, 44 Ford rolled into Bakersfield, we weren't scared. Me riding on the sofa, you sitting in your chair. You took to the highway to preach the word, with a pretty little redhead who sang like a bird. A tool belt wearing preacher man, with a tender heart and callous hands. Well, I've been with you patrolling the Tokyo Bay. Landed a plane with a flashing light in a field a mile away. And when we run away, 44 Ford rolled into Bakersfield. We weren't scared. Me riding on the sofa, you sitting in your chair. At 80 years old, you bungee dived, jumped out of a plane